Today, I'm not going to try to shoehorn Devon in everything. So if I think Devon can do it, we'll use Devon. If not, we will not use Devon. I will do it myself. There's a lot of work to do. I can't just spend all day evaluating Devon. So I'm also, gonna keep this pretty chill because basically because of the podcast and my sleep schedule and stuff like that. This is basically me starting, not completely starting work. I did like a couple things, but pretty close to starting work today. I haven't sat down for a real meaty work session, so I'm just gonna be focusing on getting things done. The only thing I did is like maybe coordinate things. So interesting. That render ID that this test is failing with is a global var. So that'll only fail on CI. I think what I'm gonna do, expect error message to, can I say match? Say convert this to match, keeping in mind that the resistor 0 can be any in resistor 0 let me also pull up chat here. Nice. Okay. Nice. Yeah, those render IDs are kind of random, so you really shouldn't rely on them. So it's a better test. Notice I get a lot of green screen nonsense going on. I might fix that for a microsecond. Let's see. We gotta pick a color to key on. Let's do that. See how that works. Ooh. Good enough? Am I transparent? I don't think I'm transparent, so. OBS, fantastic piece of software. It's like the bottom of my body is a little transparent. Oh, I guess the top is too a little bit. You know what? I don't care. How it's gonna be. All right. So this was a Devon initiated PR that I've actually spent a lot of time cleaning up, but it's now passing. So good job, Devon. Proud of you. Or maybe I'm a little bit too transparent. Ghost-like. Whoa. All right. Ah, man, I don't know. Maybe I keyed on the wrong color. Let's do this. Let's key on 2 colors. We'll key on that. Does that look too transparent? Yeah, I should probably upgrade from the sheet green screen, but why bother? Why do anything? Not a big believer. Let's go all the way back. Let's just do green. Yeah. We'll just have like some junk. Ooh. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right. one bug down. The main thing not happy about at the moment is I'm trying to build an RP2040 module, which is basically like a Raspberry Pi, but a little bit nicer in some ways. And it's not building. It's not fully routing. So I hit this. Oh, it's not even trying to route. Hold on one sec. Group, subcircuit, auto router equals auto cloud. Over here, that. So we're sending it up to the cloud to route. Ooh. It's not even trying. Sad. Why isn't it trying to route? I skipped a very important meeting today, which would have clarified a lot of things. Might be because of some unmerged PR. Yeah, what up, Rohit? It's not really my morning. It's like my 5:30 p.m. But morning to you if it's your morning or your late night or whatever it is. Looks like we maybe are waiting on some changes. Oh, there we go. All right. Oh, that looks great, actually. Wow, there's some weird stuff going on, though. Look at those vias. They're so close together. Probably an issue with the via sizing, actually. And then what the heck is going on here? That's just a bug. "7:05 a.m. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Welcome. How does this work? Oh, we're using the circuit JSON. Super bad import name. Oh, all right. Option 1 is I pick up where Rashab left off, or maybe late tonight, because I'll probably be up a little bit late. I can actually talk to him and we can sync up and I can not just like riff on his stuff. So I might prefer to do that. Another project I'm interested in, which is running TS circuit better locally, like with the CLI, but also being able to save to snippets, and also running it in the background on a web worker. And it's also something that Devon is more likely to contribute to. So we'll see if we can do it. Complaining about a large file path. I don't know, maybe it's this Cosmos export. Interesting. So basically, this project is called RunFrame, and it gives you a frame that you can run TS circuit in. It uses Cosmos, which is like Storybook. It's a super cool framework, and the maintainers are also very responsive. So yeah, basically this frame can display circuit JSON to anybody who wants to read circuit JSON. Very easy. Yeah, basically got everything from the snippets website. But is not capable of running code right now. So I would like it to give it the ability to run code. So we're going to do that. Kind of bugging me how I have like down here, I have like a little bit of green screen over it. I'm going to drop that. Drop left 300. 100. Perfect. No crap on our screen. How you doing, Rohit? How's the life? All right, so running TS circuit in a web worker, a lot harder than I thought. I can't even remember where I'm at. Oh, you know what? That's the UI side. I'm not even there yet, because Yeah. All right, I'm remembering. This is like, I had to drop this project a couple days ago. The reason that, by the way, the reason I want to run TS Circuit locally is I have a really hard algorithm that I need to build out for laying out like shapes as LEDs, and I want to be able to use VS Code for it. So it's like all in pursuit of making things easier for myself. I don't want to use the web tool. Web tool is great, like in so many ways, but not. It's it's just not the same as having a VS Code locally. Anyway, when you try to run code here, I think this tries to auto run. You get this security error where it's not allowed to load. I didn't know this, but it's not allowed to load from unpackage. I think it's the fact that it's loading HTTPS over HTTP or something like that. So it might not be something you see in production, but I don't want anybody to see this ever. So we're gonna try to fix it. Web workers suck because they have to start with a URL. You can't like give them a string to execute. But you can like base 64 encode like the worker code, and then like theoretically that can run, but I think if your URL is too long, it doesn't work, and that's kind of where I'm at. I could try using blob URLs too, so that's probably the next thing. I wrote this little function that puts together a base 64 encoded data URL for web workers, but whenever I run the web worker with us, it like freezes up. So I don't know. This is a good question for Claude, actually. Are there any limitations on the size of the of a base 64 coded web worker? You can also sanity check some other things like this. Like, is this the right prefix? I think it's right, but it looks a little weird to me. It's probably right. Oh, 10 megabytes for data URLs? 2 megabytes. Yeah, I gotta inline it because I can't load from unpackage. You forced me. Your dumb browser security forced me to do this. Yeah, this is a little tricky though, because so if we look at the, I don't know, maybe I can try to decode the URL. It's like do some sanity checking, but I think I have VS Code configured not to show my dist directory. But if I do open dist encoded worker URL, this is like a JavaScript file that just exports this base 64 encoded URL. Insanity checking. Yeah, sounds about right. Everything just feels hacky to me. There's no differentiator between like hacky and not hacky. Like everything feels like a hack. We're building electronics on the web. That's already a hack, right? It's crazy. TS Circuit is, officially from like me starting on it full time. It's been 10 months, so it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's like, what did I expect to have at a year point? That's what I keep thinking. Like after 1 year, what did I expect? It'll be 1 year in March. But anyway, let's see, decode 64 URL. Is there a program for this? Actually, let's just ask Claude to write a program. It's probably a website, but write a web app that decodes a base 64 coded URL. 1 year is crazy. You've gotten so much shit done in 1 year, though. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think like I wanted to have more, like my goal from basically day one was to have to be able to build a circuit every day. And it's like it really hasn't gotten that far. And I think most of that is because of like little bugs and stuff like that. Like it is death by a million paper cuts. It's also like to be able to build a circuit board a day, you have to like I have to be able to use VS Code sometimes, right? I can't do it all from that web editor. I probably could build a board a day right now, but each board would take like 5 hours. So it's like that would be an absolute grind, and I'm not sure 5 hours is better than KiCad or the alternative. So not a valid URL, huh? What does a valid base64 encoded URL look like? Is this just like a general purpose base64 encoder? Okay. And no, so I wanted like damn it, Claude. What do you call this? What do you call it when you give a web worker a base64 encoded string containing JavaScript? Can you parse that? You have a congratulations. I've been begging for one of those. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a blob URL, but I might switch to blob URLs. I have a problem with my Next.js site. Uh-oh. What kind of problem? What, you think this is your debugging hour? It might be. What are you all right, F this. I'm going to switch to blob URLs. All right, so still gonna use Claude though. Can't fix the theme switch. Is that like a Next.js built-in thing? You know, even with Tailwind, I've had a lot of trouble with theming. Case in point, why are these in dark mode? Like, yeah, I don't know. Actually, this project, I wish I had streamed this project because it was super interesting, because this is the first time I've published a Tailwind library. And publishing a Tailwind library is kind of non-trivial, you know? Like, especially, like, yeah, I don't really know how people are doing it. Because Tailwind generates the CSS style sheet on the fly. So, like, you know, like, for Tailwind to work, it has to have access to your source code so that it can pull out all of your stuff. I didn't even know Tailwind had projects. Oh, you mean like, I mean like an NPM library. You mean like you didn't know Tailwind could be used to make a NPM component library? Can you convert this file so that it produces, that it does exports blob URL? Make sure the output JavaScript file constructs the blob URL from the web worker code. Index, which you might want to store base64 coded to avoid weird new line stuff. Hey, what's going on here? Says Fedor. I don't know. How do you call a function from another file in Next.js and have a variable in it? How do you call a function from another file in Next.js and have a variable in it? Like, you want to have an exported variable? I think maybe your problem, if I had to guess, just based on that, I think maybe your problem is you're exporting a primitive and maybe you want to export an object, because if you're mutating it, I don't know, is that all right? What's the name of the variable you're trying to get? Imposter engineer who is secretly not an imposter engineer. I refuse to believe after watching me for more than 5 streams, you're not a principal engineer at a up-and-coming startup, OpenAI, etc. A little bit of a debate on Twitter whether OpenAI is a startup. Build blob worker blob URL. Blob. I worked at TripAdvisor like 8 years ago, and I went back in time. 8 years ago, is that right? Yeah, 8 years ago, and I went back in time to see if I had held my, if I had, I didn't work there long enough to get options. If I worked there long enough to get options and I had held them, how much money I would have made. And let me tell you, I would have lost half of my money. Holy moly! What the heck, TripAdvisor? I wish I was an engineer. True that, man. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, you don't usually think about like life choices you could have made, but that's one case where I was like, holy moly, wow. Ooh. I dodged a bullet. Can you imagine working somewhere 8 years and like you got nothing? Holy moly. Crazy to me. So instead of encoded worker URL, we actually will call this one Blob URL. And then in our package file, I'm going to make an alias for that before I forget. So the concept here is if people want to load this, but they don't have access to unpackage, which they might not for whatever reason. This is going to be, this might be a short stream, guys. I was planning on streaming for a while, but my phone, it looks like my camera is going to die again because I didn't charge it. I also use this camera for the podcast. It's an iPhone. If I went to Palantir, its stock is 7x from what they initially offered me. Would have been 2 million if I went there. Yeah, but dude, now you're like a startup CTO. So like, you know, are you on the wrong path? I mean, honestly, 7x. Dude, I worked at a crypto startup and they offered to pay me in crypto. They like 10,000x from the start point because I was their first employee. And I didn't take it. I wanted cash. I was telling some people last night I was a contrarian, but not an independent contrarian at the time. Like I would just do the opposite of what people around me were doing, and everybody was getting into Bitcoin. So the opposite felt like not getting into Bitcoin. So that like there's 2 types of contrarians. There's people who like think of things from first principles, and there's people who just disagree to disagree. You probably know both types of people, right? And the people who just disagree to disagree are like the least interesting. So anyway, that's how I rationalize it. What a short-sighted loser. You know, I agree. You know, imposter engineer calls him like he sees them, and he sees one. He sees one imposter engineer right here. I'm a Jun developer. Congratulations. I've never heard of a Jun developer. I don't know. Still in college, I've been building an AI-powered chatbot recently with front-end Tailwind. But for back-end, I've been looking for ways to actually implement. Any advice? Just use Vercel. Next.js? Did you say Next.js? What's your front-end Tailwind? What are you using? Vite? I was just dissing my junior about this. How would you get jobs if you were just starting out? I don't know. I always recommend portfolio work. You know, just find like you know, do projects. That's what I always recommend. Get AI to help you. Best way to learn. Honestly, the job market right now, I'm kind of confused by it. I've heard really bad things. And the reason I'm confused by it is like I was actually trying to hire conventionally. I'm not. I would say maybe in some ways I'm hiring conventionally, but I'm not like active. I'm not aggressively hiring traditionally. So like Like I have different channels now. But I was like I ran like a LinkedIn campaign or whatever to like post, like we're hiring, and I got applicants. And I got a bunch of people who were like cheating with AI and all this stuff. And like, I'm like, okay, never using this again. So I literally have no idea how companies are cutting through that. Like, I want to say if you get good, you can get a job, but it's tough to say that when as a company, I literally don't want to interview people because they're doing stuff. This looks like it worked. Okay, so pretty confusing, but this URL that this package exports, that's actually a URL you can give to a worker in theory. We're gonna test it, but that is in theory a URL you can give to a web worker to start it. So we're gonna try that out. So we're gonna import our Blob URL. Web workers are pretty cool. They run in a separate thread, and you have to communicate over a channel. Same way you would communicate with an iframe, essentially. Kind of a derivative of communicating with an iframe. All right, let's run this test. Let's hope it doesn't freeze because it froze last time. Oh, that's better. Can I find module dist / dist URL? Did I spell it wrong? Oh, dist URL. Man, I'm typoing all over the place. I'm like, where's my head at? There we go. Blob URL. Every time I type blob, I've been typing in blog. Okay, it looks like the circuit executed, but there's no test here. So let's just, oh man, that actually, I'm so happy that worked, because when the encoded URL didn't work, I was like, am I going to spend forever on this? I even got Ollama AI local model. Going to try that. Yeah, those are getting really good. What's the new model that you can run in Ollama that's pretty good? Oh yeah, we should try Gemini. That would be a fun thing to do on the stream. Because people have been saying Gemini is amazing now. And I mean, it's up there. Code refactoring leaderboard. For some reason. Oh, lazy coding. So this one's all about killing lazy coding. I don't think Gemini is even on the leaderboard, so they probably didn't run that against Gemini yet. I also have a really big Python thing I have to do. Yeah, Quen. That's the one people have been saying is really good. So yeah, I'm curious about Quen. I bought a hyped up, like a high RAM MacBook. I forget how many gigs of RAM I have, but I bought it. I think it might just be 32, but I didn't do 16 or whatever because I wanted to run models. I might have done 64. I can't remember. Yeah, it does require a lot of resource. Can you get away with 32 gigs with Quen? I think you can. Better says, I've been struggling with designing bigger projects that are actually useful. Should I start learning design patterns? Yeah, I think like how if you just want, like, I'm not an educator, but when I learned a new design pattern, like object oriented or the specific patterns within that, or like whatever, I don't know. Struggling to think of patterns off the top of my head, but I would just go and apply it to a project, even if it didn't really fit, and then I'd learn a lot from the application of it. So I think that's fine. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a journey. Just like start doing stuff. No other way to do it. Brownest Cell says, "Hi Sevi, long time no see. We met at Build Space IRL. Show me the proof. Show me the proof, dude. If we don't have a selfie together, did we meet? Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, a lot of people pretending to know me." All right, this blob, this is probably working. I didn't fix this test fully. Oh, this isn't even a test. I was like messing around. I was mucking a boot with this. All right, let's try that. All right, big shot. Look, man, all the fame went to my head. I had 19 viewers yesterday. 19. Can you even imagine an audience of 19 people. Have you ever done a class presentation? Yeah, think about that. little smaller than that. Oh shit, I meant to take a selfie. I thought taking Twitter was enough back then. What do you mean taking Twitter? Oh, did we mention each other? What's your handle? We need evidence. No, look, man, I'm going to speak for everybody here. Nobody believes you. Nobody believes you. Damn, that's all. Sorry, I'm just thinking about me being asshole-ish. Damn, that's almost as much as a first-time Valorant streamer. Hashtag goals. Ouchie. Wow. Yeah, I forgot people usually live stream for gaming. We're going to remove this export, and then I think this guy's good to go. I also want to make sure this module has auto-release. I think it does. Yeah, we got auto-release set up. Okay. Let's do our PR. I lecture to 40 students daily. Imposter engineer, who are you? You know, every day this guy's got 3 more kids, or he's got you know, he's a professor. You know what though? I believe that I believe it kind of checks out for me that you would be a professor because like I know a lot of one of the first people who like talked to me about TS Circuit was a professor who was like adjacently into web development. So they were always like consuming web development stuff, but not really doing it because they wanted to bring their research to it. It's actually the guy who made EE Circuit. This guy, who's friggin' fantastic. Like, yeah, he's a professor at Edinburgh. But this module is great. It like the way this looks does not give enough credit to how incredible it is. So this is a circuit definition. Yeah, but it's in an abbreviated format that's industry standard called SPICE. So it doesn't look like a circuit, but this could have a full schematic. And then these are the waveforms for each voltage level. Oh, my camera froze. So disappointing. So disappointing. I'm going to turn on a shit cam because I don't want to stop streaming yet. It's too short. All right, we got a shit cam going. Sad face. Oh, so bad. I'm sorry. I wanted to look beautiful for all of you. This is how, or rather, I wanted to look, you know, different than how I normally look, but this is how I really am, you know. I love how the focal point makes it look like I'm balding a little bit more on the sides here. If you begin balding, you become very concerned about how quickly you're balding. Anyway, EE Circuit, frigging amazing project, frigging amazing. I actually created an issue for him the other day. Oh, he commented. Do you mean for use in Deno? Blah blah blah. The issue is not made for this environment, so it's a bit of a hack to keep it running efficiently. Is uploading WASM binaries at Dan Chitness. Yep. You can upload WASM files to NPM. I would love to help with this. I could try to help proof of concept. Try to help proof of concept. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't stepping on your toes if it's something you wanted to do. Side note, I think the TS circuit schematics are getting quite good, and let's see, what else can I say? And I think would look cool on EE circuits. Maybe I could try to convert Spice into schematics automatically or something. I think that's a hard project, and maybe for later, Grin. Just being friendly on the internet. Man, I love talking to maintainers though, because like it's their profile is right there. You know, you're looking at their portfolio. I mean, this guy's amazing. It's great to be able to talk to him. LOL, you still follow the product Twitter page at Evenscribe. I don't know what proof to give. Dude, you know how much I follow on Twitter? You know how many people I follow? Like 3,000. Bringing simplicity and superpowers to logging infrastructure. Why is your terms of service front and center? Sorry, you didn't ask to be grinded, but, or what's the word? It has to be, oh, what's the word I'm thinking of, guys? You know, when you're very mean to someone for no reason. Get early access. You're still early access. Build space was like, what, 6 months ago? Just flip it. Just flip it when I click it. Just flip it. I'm just kidding. I think I remember liking this project. Whoa, look at all these bindings. So many languages. Good job. Good job. Very impressive. Parka Scraper. Eva Agent. I like the prefix. Eva is the prefix here. 10 repos. That's a baby amount of repos. You got to get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. How did you become a developer? I started making ActionScript Flash games when I was but a child. I think game making is a great way to learn to program too. But that's not going to teach you something marketable. But it will make you a much better developer. But nobody will realize that. So it might make, you know, maybe it'll help you get that portfolio together quicker. Just make sure all your portfolio items can be viewed on the web. And, you know, design isn't really important. So try to do something that's like actually impressive. Yeah. Design is, you know, if somebody's like accepting payments for their web app, that's kind of impressive because that means you did a third-party Stripe integration. Right. Build blob URLs with packaged web worker. I feel like I see the world differently than I saw it. I don't know, like 6 years ago. Everything to me just feels like hacks built on hacks. And so like, I like care a lot about how well code is written, but everything feels like a hack now, you know? Like, I'm just like, nothing is where it's supposed to be, and that's fine. Like, right now I'm like encoding a giant string and like shoving it into a web worker so that I don't have to deal with CORS issues. And it's just like, yeah, it's all just hacks built on hacks. I've just come to terms with it. Do you or did you used to play video games? I sometimes play a video game. Yeah, play a video game on occasion. I think the one I've been playing recently with my girlfriend is Cult of the Lamb. Yeah, you guys ever heard of this? Cult of the Lamb. You try to build a cult, and it's kind of like Hades, but you try to build a cult. It's very fun, very cute. It is a cute cult game, an emerging genre. Sorry, you know, actually, let me fix this test before I read this. Run, build. Build before running tests. It's always good to test your build process too. I should have been doing that. Sorry, a lot of latency on my end, but we were not really happy with just logs. I thought it wasn't much of a value. Now we are trying profiling infra and application tracing, but as simple as we can, so we are still early access. Yep, makes sense. Hey, no harm in that, right? You know? There's recently a little bit of Twitter discourse on PG versus Teal. You guys know Peter Thiel? So the discourse basically goes, PG is like talk to users, and Peter Thiel's like you got to have a secret. I mean, that's what people are saying. I think that's an oversimplification of what Thiel says. Thiel believes that companies have something they know that the rest of the world doesn't know yet, which is not a secret, or rather something they believe that the rest of the world doesn't believe yet. That's not a secret, right? You can be like out there and you can say, hey, like, birds aren't real, and you believe that. So, and maybe you can get a group of people together, and they all believe that, but the rest of the world doesn't believe it. So it's not a secret. You can be very open about it. You can go shout it on the street. It's not a secret. So I think like it is compatible. You can talk to users with your quote unquote secret. You can go up to users and be like, hey, you ever notice birds look a little suspicious? Maybe they're not real. You're not like not Tealian for doing that, I think. But Peter Thiel believes in doing like really hard things for long amounts of time. He wants bigger bets. Can I find module dist to Blob URL? I thought I built though. Maybe the build process doesn't include building the Blob URL. Teal sounds like us. Well, not yet, maybe. Like us, maybe. I don't know. I don't know, man. When I think I think I'm between Teal and PG, essentially. I talk to users a lot. I also, or at least, yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I'd say I talk to people using it. Sometimes I pay people to use it, essentially with the bounty program. But Teal is really, I mean, I think, these are hard problems, but Teal is really, it's almost like rocket level, he really wants, I don't know. Maybe he still likes SaaS, but I wouldn't like go out to Teal and try to get him to invest in like your run-of-the-mill SaaS. Add Blob URL. Do build process. I don't know. Can you explain what is difficult about a website that accepts payments? It's not that it's difficult per se. I don't know. I don't think that alone would be enough as a portfolio item. You just have to do, yeah, I think you're right. It's not enough as a portfolio item. It needs to be like, I don't know. It can't be boilerplate, right? How is Devon, by the way? I am no longer employable. Am I no longer employable? You were never employable, so that's an easy question. No, I kid. I get it. Just so everybody's clear, I'm bossed around in my everyday life, so I have to bully everyone else. So in case we weren't, we were wondering. But it was okay. I did 12 PRs with it, and it managed to do 2. But my so I'm not, and they were really, really easy. So I'm not like thrilled about it. We might play with it if I start doing anything that seems pretty easy. But what I like about it is you can kind of manage it with your phone, because it's basically a Slack bot. So I do like that aspect, because I try to do a lot of stuff. Just if like I'm sitting on the toilet, I can either be on Twitter or I can be trying to do some work, right? All right, this should publish a new version, and then we can try to integrate it into RunFrame. After we have that integrated, we have to build a CLI. After we have the CLI, we have to build a server, and then we have to deploy the server. And then, maybe we can start to build some shapes and LEDs. We were thinking about switching to this camera, this Anchor webcam for our podcast, but I don't like the color grading. I think it's bad. I wish there was a good webcam, but there's not really a good webcam. So I will continue to use an iPhone that is just a fixture up there. I did play around with cursor. It stinked. It just doesn't really get what I am building. Maybe because I am not building a web app. I mean, that could be one reason. I would also say you have to be pretty consistent in your patterns. And like, if you look at this directory, there's a docs directory, And then in the docs directory, we have like reference code and stuff. We do this on almost every project. There's a docs direct, like if you go to our core, this is where most of the work is done. Look at all these docs. We have like overviews and stuff like this. We have tons of docs that AI can use. So you kind of got to know how to, you almost have to imagine somebody's coming in fresh to your project every single time. So have you coded in the simplest way and with enough documentation where somebody who's coming in for the first time can figure out how everything works. I usually try to keep all projects like that. Like I always optimize for that because it's open source project and we keep the multi-repos really small. So it's designed to be a quick contribution ecosystem. And people complain about multi-repo structures, but I think in our case, it's a decent balance. It's not perfect, but mono repos are tough. I think you had some pretty small, I don't know, your bindings and stuff seem kind of small, so maybe you're already doing it. All right, let's update our dependency here. Eval web worker, I think. Is that the right version? Why does that version number not look right to me? It's the right version. Okay. So now we should be able to run code, theoretically. How does this work? FS map, so you give this run frame some TS circuit code, and it's just supposed to run this and show you the result. So, wow, my TypeScript is disabled. I have a directory that's really big that's causing my TypeScript to get destroyed, but I can't figure out what directory it would be. What's so big? I don't think I've had this problem happen in a really long time. Sorry for bothering you with the questions about portfolio. I was just wondering what's something that would make my portfolio stand out. Depends on the company. Yeah. I always recommend people look at the companies they want to work at and try to find, something that they're all doing. Stuff they've integrated with, maybe. APIs they use. Probably a lot of companies have Anthropic SDK implemented or something like that. So you could say, you could build an eval benchmark framework. That could be a portfolio item. Just have a really dope website, but that's unique, right? That's not boilerplate. If you have like an eval website, like, oh, how well do these prompts perform? Modify the prompts. See how well they perform, right? So that's a pretty good. I think that's a pretty timely idea. It's a pretty great idea. in my cocky era, outwardly cocky era, internally existential dread. You played around with cursor, but it stunk. I don't know, man. Maybe you asked it to do things that were too big. You gotta kind of also know how to work with AI too. You gotta give them little bits. All right. So this is, it's not even running. I'm like, why doesn't this work? Well, it might. We might not actually have to code anything. So the first thing is we shouldn't be getting a CORS error, but we still get it. So I think what I have to do is configure it to load in that URL. To create WebCircuit and web worker URL, we're going to import our eval web worker blob URL. Ooh, no declaration file. That's a good bug for what's its face? That's That's a good bug for Devon. So we'll ask Devon to fix this. I'm not even going to create an issue. I'm just going to ask Devon to do it. At Devon. Oh, wait. We have to tell it about the existence of the repo. Yesterday, I was doing something wrong, but I kept tagging Devon and it wasn't responding. And I said, I was like a little bit mean on my stream about Devon. I was like, oh man, did they kick me off? I thought I had a pretty balanced take. Like, I assume a lot of people are going to have the experience I'm having. And so like negative takes are going to be pretty common. But I think I have like, I believe it could be something. Finally, I get to see it in action. I used it for like 2 hours last night. So if you scroll a bit further in my stream, whatever platform, you should see like I did 12 PRs with it in 2 hours. I did. It only successfully did 2. I gave it code reviews, like the whole thing. I don't think I'm gonna spend that much time working with it again because I kind of had an idea of what it could do, but I ran the gamut, I would say. Whoa, what's this? What is going on? I don't know what just happened. All right, so eval web worker, install dependencies. Okay, so unfortunately I have to install bun every time. So this is where you set up the Docker container that they're gonna save. I get why they wouldn't release this incrementally, for like lots of reasons. I'm not gonna run the tests because I found out that was basically useless. I'll run a no, I won't run a build. We'll just do install. Upkeep, keep it up to date. We'll do repo/eval web worker and bun install and bun run build. There's no VS Code terminal. Try paste it in the VS Code terminal. It's gone. They must have just broke this. How do I file issues? They should have a file issue thing with how complex this app is for a day one app. Okay, I think we're good. You actually pay 500 USD for that? Yes. I feel a little hurt by that statement though. Bought it based on promise. They should have a publicly accessible Devon workspace with their repo, and everyone tells Devon their issues. It's a good idea. Actually, I'm a big proponent of having a public GitHub repo for your issues, even if you're a closed source repository. Just create a repo for issues. My old company did that. KEKW, is that I don't know what KEKW is, but I assume it's when like somebody owns the streamer from the audience. Well done, because yeah, that was kind of a known. It's just so simple. Anyway, we haven't actually, you know, now that I think about it, STFU, dude, we haven't even run this yet. You literally, I'm setting up the project. I haven't even run it yet. I mean, based on my description, you know, maybe you have thoughts, but it does kind of suck. I have to set up these repos. Like it should be. I mean, everybody figures out how to set up these repos on their own, and I'm pretty sure it could do it automatically. I'm glad they're checking that they run things right before they like. And it takes a while, and you pay for it, so you know maybe it makes some sense. If you're paying for something, it has to be user initiated. But I love it. Forgot what I was doing. Run frame unexpected token. Did I like not finish some code? I think I got distracted by this type error. I have something in my clipboard, so we're not allowed to copy anything. You guys ever do that? You're like, I gotta just remember there's something in my clipboard. I don't have clipboard history, so should probably get that. Web worker URL. We're gonna paste that blob URL. All right, we'll see if this works. No cores issues. Syntax error. Not use import statement outside of a module. Can web workers use import? They should be able to use import statements outside of a module. True with new type module. Oh. Why didn't this come up sooner? Maybe bun is too forgiving. That's the problem with bun. It's very forgiving. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Right. So where we create the worker, we're gonna do type module. And then we'll run tests. Oh, weird. Now we have a failing test from that. No way that's making the test fail. Yeah, that didn't make the test. Some issue there. It's an old dependency. A little late to be drinking tea, but I'm doing it. All right, let's see if we can get Devon to do this now. So I'm going to go to Slack. At Devon, I get this issue or error or type error. I get this late for me. I get this type error when using ts-circuit/eval web worker. Can you add the d.ts file to the blob URL generation script? This is kind of stuff I might somehow. Oh. Lost it in my clipboard. Okay, let's see if we can find it. Find that type error. Otherwise, it's kind of a hard bug. Yeah, there we go. All right. Get that type. Go, Devon, go. This is the first time I haven't given it an issue URL, so hopefully it's able to figure it out. Devon is ready. You can send messages here now. Okay. I'm gonna merge this in the meantime. It might have to, probably won't have a merge conflict. It'll be okay. It's not great at handling merge conflicts either. That was kind of annoying. Devon. They should have named it Devon with an S. I would have liked that more. It's kind of a cuter name. Devon is like just a dude. Dash force, no conflict. What the heck? What the heck, man? What the? Madness. Madness. Like that guy being like, you want me to take care of him for you? And you're like, what? It's inhumane. Right. So where were we at with this? So we're loading, can't use import statement. We fixed that. There should be a publish soon. I'm just waiting for Devon, guys. It's not something you look at. Boring to look at. It's not supposed to be something. I'll go back to it in a minute. We can timeline what it tried and whatnot. It's a really easy issue. If it doesn't get it, I'm going to be very sad. They should add the full repo to context when they can. That would seriously improve things. They should try to add yeah, they should basically always try to add the full repo to context. It would get better. Because I've done that many times and gotten good results, and I maybe at a higher ratio with Aider. Eval web worker. So we're waiting on this guy to publish. It's published as v16. So then in the run frame project, we're going to update that dependency. Truly in the multi-repo world right now. Wait, there's an extension for repos? Yes, there is. And I have it aliased. That's all I need to get this to work. Okay, we're running. Not seeing any code, and our circuit JSON is null. That's not good. We got a message in Slack from Devon. All right, why is circuit JSON null? I think if we get this error in this use effect, it's going to be a silent error. So let's make it not a silent error. Also missing some log lines. Didn't I just add like a bunch of log lines? Waiting for initial JSON. Getting caught here. Okay, waiting for initial. So we never get beyond. We never get beyond this. Execute with SFS map. Waiting for execution to finish. In Chrome, how can I see errors inside my web worker? I tested this with Bun's web worker implementation, which is not safe. DevTools source. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. You see a web worker here? I don't see a web worker. It says select your web worker context. Dark reader. Boy, yeah, this is a tricky one because I don't really know. We could try inserting, like we could add verbose as a flag. This is a good one for Devon, but I might need it faster than Devon can work. Where is Devon anyway? Still working. Oh, it's creating the pull request, so we should be able to see its work soon. That looks right. This is like in the like this one I would expect it to get. Let's use Aider, because Aider won't take as long. Gotta use all the tools in our arsenal here. Docs. We don't need docs. What do I need? Really just need, oh yeah, I need the web worker code. Okay, so we gave it all the web worker code and the library code. Add a verbose mode to worker if, oh, I think, yeah, no, that should work. Add verbose mode to the worker. If verbose is true, yeah, it's to the worker. I'll say to the worker config. If verbose is true, add logging all over the worker instantiation. Looks pretty good. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. They're actually really good at adding logging. I've never thought about this, but I think they're really good at adding logging. I've only seen this one place where I added logs, but I wouldn't have thought to put it there to log the config. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Of course you want to see the config. Oh, it's not so bad. Weird that it's logging the code length, but it's actually a good idea because it's kind of a hash on the code. I mean, I think this will help. It's not great. We don't need this anymore. I think we need that anymore. Ghost code. Yeah, all right. Oh, it added it to all the imports too. We'll look at this in PR. Devon's PR should also be ready. Yeah, there it is. Wow, all caps. That literally won't work. You had one job, Devon. And it's not formatted. Oh, very sad. Let's explain why it won't work. But I put this in the issue. Need to add it to script that generates Blob URL. Then put that in the dist directory. I told it to do that in the issue. Also, I forgot to format. It's even in its thing to format. I think they're using lower grade models for some of the stuff, maybe to save money, but guys, that ain't it. I'm talking to somebody from the team tomorrow, so hopefully I can get a sense of how they're thinking about this. They probably learned a lot from the launch. Let's look at the verbose PR that was done by Aider. By the way, Aider would have gotten that for sure. For sure, it would have gotten that. Although Aider does mess up the formatting a lot. So I usually have a format bot that's separate. I should probably start adding that again. But Aider would have for sure been able to get that issue that I gave Devon. I've got 2 projects up. Eval web worker, verbose. We're just gonna run a format. Here we go. All right, so that's a good log line. Importing. Actually like the old message. Also, worker is so vague. They could have picked a better name. I'll add worker for consistency. This is kind of redundant. Yeah, this is redundant. Yeah, all right. This doesn't really help us that much, but helps us a time. I'm gonna start using Yelk after this. Yelk is for publishing things locally very quickly. So after I left my review comment, Devon started again, right? So it's like, oh, I'm trying to understand the failure, which it probably shouldn't do. Because it doesn't matter. The CI failure doesn't matter. Because right now it's in the planner. Oh, it did do modify build script to generate DTS. Let's see. This is correct. This is great. This is right. Right. Good job. This is very correct. Very happy to see that. Good job. And it's also running format, or it's running format check locally, which is probably why this is taking a while. Don't run the format check, run the format. Just format the code. You don't have to check it. This is why you gotta have format bot. All right, well, luckily it passed. That took so long to run. Yeah, this is all like a timeline. So I can like go scroll back in time and see everything it did. The planner is probably the most interesting to scroll back and forth. But the editor, you can also scroll back and forth and see what it edited. Right. Same with the browser. It was pretty cool when we did a visual project and we could scroll through the browser. Okay, so we'll merge verbose mode, and then we'll merge Devon's thing. And then maybe we'll get a clue as to why the loading isn't working. Man, I've been drinking so much coffee in the morning lately. Just feels good though. My amount is getting too high though. Drinking like 400 milligrams at least of caffeine now. A lot. Like 8. That 8 cups of coffee? How many cups of coffee is 400? Of caffeine, it'll figure it out. Oh, it's only 4 cups. That's not that bad. 4 cups of coffee. It's not great. Not bad though. Probably like average American. What does the average American drink? Oh, 5.5. Wow. Wait, did it say 3? What's going on? Oh, 2 cups. Oh, if you vary around coffee drinkers and non-coffee. Yeah, but how? Among coffee drinkers? Whatever. I don't care. Averages are meaningless. Like if there's 50-50, you know. Might have fixed it. Fix it? Done? Okay. Take a look. I mean, it looked good to me. Changed some weird stuff. Removed semicolons. I don't like how it changes stuff it doesn't need to. I think that's what they call like style issues, basically. Run frame. Anything with frame in the back of it sounds cool. I don't make the rules. Okay, let's try it with this new verbose flag. Still complaining about the size of the project. What is so big in this project? Maybe it's the 8er? I literally cannot think of anything that is big here. Is it loading? I don't know. Why are you saying I can't say verbose here? Do I need version 8? I don't think so. I think version 17 has it. Oh, nice. It stopped throwing. All right. Guess 2 restarts is the move. All right, so we got verbose on. Now we can start it. See if it logs anything interesting. Creating circuit with worker config. All right. Is Devon any good? What's been your experience? Haven't been following. I did a pretty long review yesterday. I did 12 issues with it, and only 2 got done successfully. I did a bunch of reviews to try to get Devon to fix. How I feel about it is it's a bad equivalent to a TS Circuit contributor in their second week. So it's only able to do very, very easy issues. And it often does them wrong. And when you tell it it's wrong, it often can't correct. So yeah. This is pretty weird. This blob URL. I have the following blob URL that I created with JavaScript. How can I debug the contents of this blob? If we see another Devon issue, I'll try to do it. But you have to use fetch. Yeah, right now, basically, the reason why this is so hard is because the bun execution environment is different than the web execution environment. So all the issues stem from that. I can't test it unless I have a browser running. So there's a couple ways to like get around that. Like I could use Playwright to instrument a browser to do better browser testing. It's probably worth it since the whole repo is about evaluating inside of a web worker. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to be faster at this point. I'll probably regret not doing the Playwright thing because I usually like to set up a test figure because otherwise somebody's going to break it. They're not going to know the same things I know, and then I'll link them to the stream. All right, so apparently I have to fetch that web worker URL to figure out what's in it. So we'll do that. What's this called? Worker blob. Then our text, and we'll log that. Let me just ask: are these valid URLs for web workers? Can I put JS into a blob? Maybe it's just not allowed. Oh, it is allowed. Alrighty, tidy lefty loosey. Yeah, there's that's good. So we get the code from the blob. Seems fun. Oh, wait a second. How is it going to import Comlink or React? We have to do a full bundle. I didn't realize it wasn't doing a full bundle. Yeah, of course that's not going to work. Oh, Bun, you're so forgiving. But that is to my detriment right now. Because they let you import instead of web workers, and that's not normally something you can do. At least you can't import a module. Okay. Let's try just bundling the code in the web worker. It's going to be kind of funny because the size is going to shoot up. So right now the web worker is 27.8 kilobytes, which is pretty big, honestly. And then after we do this, and then this is the only blob URL. This is 37 kilobytes. It's pretty big blob to load in. It's probably gonna be huge after this. All right. Yeah, that's kind of the reason for this is really this TS up node thing. You can't build. We have to use TS up on the web worker so that everything's bundled. On the lib index, it's actually okay not to use TS up. The difference between TS up node and TS up is one bundles like node, so you don't need to bundle the dependencies. Important subtlety. We also don't need the TypeScript bindings. The source map is good, but we don't need the DTS actually for the web worker. No point. Clean this up a little bit too. We'll say build lib, and then we'll say build does build lib, build web worker. All right, that appears to have worked, but I think we clear out that dist directory. I think we have some issues, like some conflicts with naming. Yeah. Yeah, we have some naming conflicts here. How do I fix this? I was gonna break it on Windows, but let's make the dister. Make the lib build lib.js and the web worker build webworker.js. I don't need that. Okay. I'm gonna wipe the dist directory, get it nice and clean, then we'll build. Unknown option out file. Got a good old hallucination. All right, what do we got? What are our options? How can I make the you build to a very specific file name? You can specify an output directory. Okay. We can do -d dist/lib. And we'll do -d/. Okay, maybe. Looks right. Oh my gosh, 39 megabytes? What is going on? That's too much. Oof. Okay. And this one's 29.6. So why? This must be bundling some stuff it shouldn't be. That's huge. Bundling React. Actually, normally that's really, really bad, but in this case, you actually have to because it's running in a web worker, so it doesn't have React. Oh, how do I do a bundle analysis? I have the following. You know what would be cool is if Devin asked Claude things sometimes, you know? If it was like, oh, how do I do this? And it just asked how to do it. Maybe it does do that. But like, I never see that in the process docs. They always assume. Maybe that's because like, you know, it's the same model, but I feel like you're helping, you know, you gotta kind of help yourself out. I have the following package JSON. How can I analyze bundle size of this/web worker? That's not gonna work. Passing the metadata flag times AI, you know, a little disappointing. Gotta look for that signature made by a human badge. Maybe we should take away the source map. This file is so friggin' big. I'll leave it. So we want to add a might go app. Unknown option metadata. What am I reading? Everything wrong? Passing metadata flag tells ES build. We're on the TS up page. Metadata flag. Oh, meta file? Is that like an out-of-date doc? You can't rely on anybody. You can rely on humans to be, like, you can trust them. They're not going to hallucinate, but they're unreliable. Can't trust anybody. At the end of the day. Yeah. All right, build web worker. Okay. And now we have not meta file. There it is, metafile ESM. Okay. So not an expert, but I think you can upload this to, they recommended a tool called Bundle Buddy. But Bundle Buddy's dead. So let's Google Bundle Buddy. Okay, it's not dead. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'll upload it. Drag and drop. Oh, please support drag and drop. Yay. Okay. 9 megabytes. Oh, actually, that makes sense. We are bundling Babel standalone. Oh, actually, maybe this is correct. Yeah, 40 is about what I was expecting. 3JS is pretty big. Oh, we should tree shake out 3.cjs. That's interesting. JSCAD has a ton of submods. React Reconciler has no reason to be, I think. Yeah, no, 40 megabytes is right. All right. You know, just have to come to terms with these things sometimes. Okay, so we're good. Checking my work. Bundle web worker. More. What's cool about that issue that we did with Devon was I didn't have to make a GitHub issue. So I did like. I did this. Bundle web worker more. Cool. We actually have a test that uses that bundle. So I actually feel very confident about that. I would like to give Devon a tiny issue while we wait. So this is another repo. Ooh, yeah, our contribution tracker. This is our open source contribution tracker. Tracking how many contributions people do, and people constantly fuck this project up. They just don't do a good job. But this one also requires environment variables. Damn, look at these stats. This can't be right. Oh no, yeah, this is for since December 4th. Oh, and Devon's on here. Oh, you can see PRs opened versus PRs merged. So I've only done 10, not 12. Wait, this is awesome. I'm going to tweet about this. Because of our contribution tracking mechanism, we can basically track how good Devon is relative to our contributors. Devon's contributors / bounty hunter. See. I opened, let's just say I tried 10 issues with Devon. I requested 6. Devon also received 4 rejections. No, it's my Twitter timer. Oh my gosh. After writing that whole tweet, rough. Using TS circuits contribution tracking. Yeah, I'm not allowed on Twitter for that long. That's this little extension. Wrote it myself, and I regret it now. Using TS circuits contributor tracking, we can basically compare Devon to our contributors, bounty hunters. See Devon's open. See, Devon has opened 10 PRs. Of those, only 2 merged. Also received so far the rejection approval ratio is not but still early. Just to give it a positive note. All right. Notifs. New post from Cognition. Let's see what Devon's saying. Generally available. Use it for a non-trivial integration with Google Cloud. It helped me navigate through. Yeah, IAM is something that's probably well suited. Yeah, anyway, I'm eager to add this repo, but I guess we don't have that many open issues right now, so maybe yeah, don't worry about it. I went through in the last stream, I went through all the bountied issues. And I couldn't find too many that I thought Devon would do. But to be clear, for my evaluation, I did select like the easiest issues I could find that have a bounty. So the easiest issues that, you know, I thought I would be able to solve. It's a very kind eval. But still only 2 out of 10. All right, we got the new version here. Let's see if our web worker loads what it says. Should take a while for just the web worker to initialize. Access to script at node crypto has been blocked. Wonder what's using node crypto. I'm just gonna do a quick search through core, see if anybody's using crypto. So I'm importing a JS. I have an npm module that is built for the web, but one of my dependencies is importing node crypto. How can I find out which one? npm y. I didn't know about this. Yeah, let's do this. Types. Who's nano ID? Target ES next. Try ES 2020. I forget what controls this. Because it's like basically like some of these modules are going to have switching logic. Alter the grep command to only output file name. Okay. So TS up isn't going to be bundled. No. The only one here that would be bundled is nano ID, MLS, but it should be doing environment detection. That's used all over the place. I'm curious how it does that nano or the environment detection. Nano ID. Oh, from the GitHub org AI, very valuable now. Oh man, it's just a guy. Ooh. Good username, bruv. Hey, Devon is probably gonna reduce my number of PRs. Think about it. Gonna reduce my contribution count. My vanity metric. Let's try Copilot here. How does this module determine whether or not it can use imports? Additional exports. So basically, okay. So maybe I can indicate the TS up to build for It should already be indicating it's built for a browser target. Platform. What's the default platform? I should just get AI voice running while I'm streaming and literally just like talk to it. Oh, it is Node. Oh, wow. This is probably the fix. Oh, we accidentally we're throwing the metadata in there too and increasing our npm bundle size. Platform browser. Browser. Wonder what that'll do to the bundle size. Same size. Okay, let's run our tests. Okay. I think I have some extraneous log lines in here. Oh, that's in the test. I don't need it. I'm gonna push to main because I'm tired of waiting on CI. I ran my tests. Oh, but fine. Build for browser as platform. Web worker. You have to have enough background work to put Devon to work. I'm like, it's tough though. What's like background work I have? I think I tried to onboard to snippets, and we do have a lot of stuff here, and it would be pretty interesting. Pretty good one. It's pretty hard. Very big issue. We'll do this issue. I don't know if I'll finish it on stream though. At Devon, please do this issue. I like the UI of it a lot. I don't know. Let's see if the eval web worker is kicking. Yeah, we got our version 20. Now we can try this run frame thing. Hopefully for the last time. Go out on a win. Can't believe how broken the module was. Somebody was working on this. They probably thought they were the problem. Oh, huh. Eval compile.js error. That's... Okay, let's stop logging all that file content. Is there actually an issue with the... Oh, there's no board. No name either. Wow, yeah, that's it. Not so impressive because, you know, it's old version of PCB viewer. Yeah, I think it's an old version of. Cool. So yeah, we could throw in like a second just to like prove that it's actually doing something here. We can throw in a second component, call it C1, 0603. We have to set a capacitance. Capacitance 1 microfarad. Then we can add a trace between them. From equals .R1 pin 1. Yeah. So that's our circuit, and then I go over here. I don't know why Vite takes so long to start. Oh, I forgot to move them. So we'll say the capacitor is at PCX equals 3, 4. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That is all running in a web worker, which is pretty sweet. Some weird issues here. I think that's, yeah. And then we got the 3D view. They're pretty cool. That's all happening in that background thread. All of this is being created. Pretty sweet. Feel bad for Mr. Oodle, contributor who was working on this, and that would have been basically impossible to figure out. That was a pretty tricky one to debug, but got through it. Get this guy up. Eval web worker working. Yeah, basically main run frame API implemented. It's a big deal. Now things can run in the background. Yeah, so we'll probably incorporate that into snippets at some point. Let's see how far Devon got on its session. As far as I'm going to take that chew. No. It's a pretty hard issue, so like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff it has to do. Like a lot of stuff it has to do. It has to introduce a new field to snippets. Has to add a test. There's like tons of stuff it has to do. Kind of hard to tell. Let's look at the planner. So the plan it came up with was clone repos if needed, investigate code base. Oh, that's different. Oh, it's still planning. Oh, it's investigating the code base. Okay. So that could take a little bit of time, but I got to eat dinner. So thanks for following along if you did. You know, I'll continue. I paid for a whole month of Devon, so I'll continue using it. Yeah, we'll hopefully see on the contribution tracker. I'm gonna do my best to give Devon easy issues to try to get its stats up. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for following, and talk to you.